The following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
I don't know if I'm reading all of it or just each part.
I go nuts.
Okay.
We can do it probably
You just
page
assigned
by
that, so
page.
you don't have to read it.
Correct.
Talvalan Tower.
I'll help you out. on the next
Pearlescent
page.
teal, trimmed walls, and elegant spiral stairs make this tower's interior one of the most resplendent in the world. At least at the commonly accessible areas. Higher in the tower, one must abandon their possessions and don special robes which can withstand the magical energies. The robes last a day of use, but take 13 to make. The tower at these heights is more utilitarian inside, although few not engaged in the true work of the tower will ever see it. The circles. The tower itself is surrounded by the walls, the nature of which are obvious beyond them, are what they call the circles. And there's a little annotated note. I missed the first one.
Right at the end of We'll Ever See It.
We'll ever see. Okay, I'll read that one. I have seen it, and taught its halls, understanding little, I fear. But one need not understand it to know it works. And the annotated note for this one, number 2, which was what they call the circles, although they are not circles at all, there is a distinct bulge towards the southeast, possibly caused by the preponderance of temples therein, or perhaps there is some mystical reason for it. The circles are barren, scourged by what one wizard called magical fallout, in quotes, and number 3, it falls out of the tower, see? Remaining in these areas too long is dangerous, and to be avoided. Between these circles are the quarters, 7 plus 1 areas where people have built the city of Talvalan. I shall describe them, that you may find what you seek without spending your life here. And there is another note. All too easy to do. In fact, the slogan of the Talvalan Tourism Board was, Talvalan, spend your life, not your gold. Which has another note. Let's just say you don't pay with money.
The Magic Quarter up first. Mages and wizards are organized into disarray here. Within this quarter they create, make and sell. Mostly they cause problems. The Artificer's Avenue. Workshops and laboratories of the mages who create items, enchant items, and yes, on occasion, sell them. There are also limited storefronts. Conjurer's Lane. Because of the nature of Talvalan, conjuration and summoning magics are restricted to this area. Diagon Alley. Mages are not funny. Neither are clerics. They think they are, but they are not. The Warrens. These confusing narrow lanes and back alleys seem to change as you navigate them. It is seen that it's possible to get lost within for years. And Madagoran Yard. The barracks of the local guard. The Eastern Quarter, located in the north of the city. This district borrows themes of Algria, the magical kingdom of the East, now lost. Here you can find Juganese and those from Zhangbar. Jarringly, a Frostwatch recruitment and preparation center is here. The Hall of Shadows, a dark structure is fancifully built with many a buttress and arch. Be cautious when you enter, the shadows can kill.
Ebon Quarter houses mainly the odd, curious store and unique tower. This district is quite lovely at any time of the year. Small businesses such as a Fletcher and a seamstress can be found here. The Sand Quarter. These buildings are square and flat, made of sandy-coloured stone. There are few colours, but what there are brilliant and vibrant. Desert palms bring some life, and when stalls roll out, their canvas can make one forget the drab first impression. Big Gay Waves! The master human smith makes his shop here, the one human rumoured to know the riddle of steel. Of course, getting any work done can be a chore, as he is in high demand. The standard library of the dedicated archivists of Talvalan. This great stone palace is the seat of the tomes and scrolls. The city archives are within, as are the librarians. The Sunfall Quarter. This district is often shadowed in the afternoon. Talking Hat. The tavern famous for its talking hat. The owners claim they do take no responsibility for what it says. High and Dry. Somehow a boat has crashed into the roof of an old church long ago. Now it is an elevated eatery where one may sit on the deck and enjoy the view. It is a unique experience.
The Temple District. Of course, clerics would stick their noses into a magic city. Temples. Too many gods can be found here, even a druid grove. Of note is the small market around the big Benadur Temple Fortress. The Dwarf Quarter. The Dwarf Quarter is split in two. To the west, dwarves have made a surface town with big fort, forgers and craftsmen aplenty. A basic knowledge of Kruk, dwarf mining lore, is advisable if one ventures in. To the east of the dwarf town are more conventional houses and the Lee Tower. Noble Quarter. This quarter houses the Baron's Manor, the keep given to the current civil leader of the city. A small market is also located near the manor. Across the Fourth Circle Road is a tawny patch and proving ground. The Shore Quarter, a small village housing workers and employees. There is also a nice beach here and a small thriving community supporting recreation there. The Talvalen Docks. This harbour is actually the oldest part of Talvalen, even older than the completed tower, although it has been expanded over the years to cope with the amount of trade which Talvalen relies upon. The second circle actually passes across the outermost dock and half of the Sentry Island offshore. Darklight. This lighthouse casts an interesting light which reveals more than hazards on the water.
Market Quarter. Shorehawks. The heavily defended storage facility, Shorehawks offers secure storage for a steep price, but they employ good alert guards and have magical protection too. Pity the fool who sneaks in here looking for a free item or two. The Salt Market, an open-air market, possibly the biggest in Talvalen. There's a note. A lot of things here claim to be the biggest in Talvalen. Bargain hunters beware. There are better deals to be had, and rare items seldom appear here. For if you want the basics, or even luxury items, head to the Salt Market.
I'll just point out you missed the note on the end of the first note.
Oh.
Yes, it's very good.
So that was a lot of things here claim to be the biggest in Talvalen, and I have been unable to get the owners.
Nope.
No, 4.
No. Oh, that's 4. I see. There is a dearth of biggest competitions in Talvalen. Biggest melons, biggest sausage, biggest cock. It is all very droll.
There we go.
The Bee and Barb, a good tavern with solid food. Couples with a clean, mid-priced inn. It has a note. I have been able to get the owners to divulge which bee and which is bee and which is barb. The much lesser library of the dedicated archivists of Talvalen. This rundown hovel is manned by a couple of archivists. One old, one young. There is a little of interest for adventurers here, but to the learned, it is like panning for gold. Radiant Quarter. A quaint town, possibly the most polite, quaint locale in all of Talvalen. Possibly because the sounds of the rest of the city are muffled whilst within this quarter. There is a note. Originally the name of this quarter was the Silent Quarter, but residents at the time pursued a name change, as it was not often silent within the quarter.
The Parchment Quarter. First Inn. The actual First Inn in Talvalen. Of course, most people don't know it wasn't called that originally. It was called Farty's. Named after the original owner, Farty Borger. It is a high-priced, mid-quality inn. The lesser library of the dedicated archivists of Talvalen. Who would have thought that Talvalen would have many libraries? Notation. It's an oddity of magic that those who study magic seem to accumulate. Hang on, now there's another notation in the middle, but books. They often have no idea whence most of them come from. Tomes and scrolls. The longer they study, and then there's another one. This has led to a special field of magical study, thaumatic parchment accretion. The study aims to prove that magical knowledge causes additional writings to exist through a form of conjuration. Everyone. So much so that there are too many to mention, but these ones hold the official town archives. And the Ibaria Armory. A competent smithy, good prices, and better than fair work. It is placed well at the corner of Shambling Road and Second Circle. Cold Quarter. For no good reason, there are reasons, just not good ones. This quarter is noticeably colder than any other quarter. In summer it feels like in winter, and it only gets colder. It feels like late winter, it only gets colder. The Beard's Beard, operated by the flinty Thalgrid, home of a cold fizzy ale he calls Thalgrid's Cold Crap. Rooms are available, but not many, as this is mainly a tavern. There is an attached stable. It is frequented by a spectral old soldier heading repeatedly to the Frostwatch. 7. This sort of thing is quite uncommon, but of course Talvalen has an instance of it. 7A, but not rare, foil or ultra rare.
Outer Quarters. I know not what official name these have, but the outer quarters are contained within the second and first circle. The innermost should be called the farming quarters, for that is what they contain, and horses besides. Watchtowers dot these near the roads, a wise move. Keeping an eye on trade takes a back seat to ensuring none stray over long in the barren circles. Traveller's Rest. A curious inn on the old Shambling Road, a quaint wooden building with warm fires, and a cook who can prepare anything should you present her... Oh, you should present her, and good prices. The curiosity comes from its startling number of available rooms, all accessed through the same 3 doors. A notation: it is possible to get trapped in your room if somebody has left all 3 doors open. Perhaps a side effect of the magic wielded in Talvalen, a notation, or, as is equally likely, intentional main effect. Which also has a note: wizards being wizards, they never stop to wonder what they should, if they should do a thing just because they can. Touché. Undercroft, a storage place for the dead. Above ground cemetery locations tend to get raided by necromancers, it seems. Good work is so hard to find. Poor Quarter. You cannot spend gold here. Silver too is uncommon. Copper is the currency of the region. While the locals would of course be happy with silvers or gold, who would believe they had not stolen it? That being said, the food you can buy here is sturdy and good, and the work honest. Many people here work the farms.
Customs and culture. Culture is a hard one to pin down in Talvalen, with so many from so far. The culture shifts depending on quarter, really, in the same way to flora and fauna from all over. However, there are customs, and those are quite easy to identify. 7 in 1. The rule of 7 in 1 is simple. You know what 7 plus 1 more make? That number. The one between 7 and 9, don't say it. Don't write it down. Do not spell it out or draw it in the air. Don't ask why. From what I can gather, it has to do with magic. 1. Whilst I was here, there was an interesting sea captain who visited often. He had a parrot he had trained to say 12.5%. Very clever. Barony. The civil administration is conducted by a baron, responsible for any non-magic related. There is no point in trying to take civil matters to the wizards of the tower. Crime. Talvalen has a traditional view on crime, that if possible you should deal with it yourself. However, the hiring of private investigators by the baron is not practiced. They have their own investigators, which can play mages and alchemists in addition to guardsmen. They are specially trained. These are the special guards billeted at Madagoran Yard. Religion. Clerics have absolutely no official power within the city limits. 2. In fact, few clerics can remain within the city for long at all. No one I spoke to seems to know why. Nothing stops them from practicing their craft, but they reside here on sufferance.
Amazons. Amazons are forbidden by law to try and exercise their rights here. Any of them. In fact, Amazons are almost a sort of second class here. They are often looked upon with suspicion. There's a notation. There are a number of reasons for this. Why does a woman need to be so strong? Wouldn't a fighter want to wear more armor rather than less? If there are only women, where do babies come from? Okay.
As they kidnap all those
You are
men
aware,
just to eat them.
Pizarro, of what the Amazons do, what the raids are for, but never mind.
I was rather pointing out the sources of suspicion.
Oh, of course, wizards are a bunch of nerds and have no idea why they're doing it. That makes more sense. Thank you.
Have you ever touched a breast?
No,
A woman, I'm
the real
scared.
magic.
Right of way. Wizards have right of way. Anyone with the sigil of the tower upon them may not be barred or forestalled about their duty. It is also tradition to pass to the right of people. Notation. As laid down by Tsagadar the Puce. Yea, let the people pass only to the right side of themselves, that they may not become embroiled in that little dance people do when they are trying to pass one another, which is awkward and a little embarrassing. Also notation to that. Also let them pass to their own right and not ask, be it my or thy right. Let it be very clear, it is your right.
Sounds like someone's over it.
Sigil of the Tower. The sign of the tower is popular, but only the official sigil. A circular black disc with the relief of the tower in white bisecting. It marks an employee of the tower. Right to bear staves. It is Talvalan common law that anyone may walk the streets or enter establishments whilst bearing a staff, rod, or wand openly. That's a notation. Concealed carry wand permits can be applied and paid for from the civil government. Caveat emptor. There is no protection of consumers in Talvalan. You are expected to do due diligence by your own. No magic item nor alchemical potion is backed by law. As with all magic, sometimes it just doesn't work or last. This protects vendors for sale of items which may work very well when tested, but carried away do not. Let the buyer beware.
Good advice in any magic dealings.
Pointing. Pointing is often considered by civilized nations as essential and useful. By some less civilized as impolite. In Talvalan, it is frowned upon as being dangerous and reckless. After all, who can tell if you're pointing or about to cast a spell?
Yeah.
When to get people can get you in trouble, as all they need to do is argue to the guards that they believed you're about to cast a spell, and you could be facing a hefty fine. Murder. Murder is illegal.
Suicide is too. There are lots of ways to commit suicide. Volunteering for ill-advised magical experiments, for example. You may be about to ask what they would do to you if you killed yourself. What are they going to do? Arrest the corpse? Haha. Actually, yes. Then they will resurrect you and then charge you for the costs of it.
Money!
Money!
Talvalan uses Imperium copper, the Turles for silver, and they use the ducat, a circular coin with the profile of a wizard, rumoured to be Valen himself, on one side, and an open book set before cross staves on the reverse. The gold octo is a hexagonal coin, the tower on one side, and the other tower on the reverse. A Talvalan mark is a platinum coin, interestingly, a square coin with a crescent and 3 stars on one side, and the 2 towers on the reverse. Ilcaster, originally named Talcaster, Dark Tower spewing his filth is the reason Talvalan exists to oppose it. It is the purpose above all others in the city, and any other business or work must come second to it. Any who reside in the city may be pressed into service of this goal and have no choice.
Magic. Weird how late this comes in the thing. Talvalan is known far and wide as the City of Magic. It is the centre of such study, with fabulous libraries and fantastic works. It has filled this hole since Elgria was lost, and it is said. Although the truth is that it took much time for Talvalan to be erected, and more to be more than a hamlet near the tower. Even though it is now a hub for magic and magicians, the natural number for an enclave of wizards does inevitably reduce itself to 1, and rivalries and power struggles are common. Very little is outlawed here, and even what is still occurs, softly ignored unless it causes too much of an issue. Many wonder, can it be purchased here at wondrous prices? But no matter how high the price tag gets, there is often a second cost, a less pleasant cost to bear. Talvalen's principal value, however, comes as a gateway city on the Ebon, before it heads out into the Mandro Sea and under that dark passage to the Spring Sea. Trade goes on here, lots of it. Most bound for Poznan or even further beyond, to the ends of the Sapphire. So here you can find much of what you need, if you wait long enough. Caravans leave overland too, and will take passengers or hire on guards, like it as not. Similarly, passage may be taken on many ships, heading in either direction. Talvalen is a stopover place for many voyagers. Many nations fund Talvalen's work, the holding back of the dark, and so coin and resources come here, which attracts thieves, pirates, and politicians.
The same thing as thieves and pirates.
It is best to go armed, and alertness should be your watchword before the tower comes into sight.
Why not peruse the learnings from my other adventures? The bone fields explored and a meeting with the Undertaker of Ilcaster, how I named Vaestula, the Wall of Spears separating truth from tale, touring the 4 nations which made up Serenia, waves and wind, the seas of Arok, Imperia, not just a default currency, a pirate's life from experience to understanding, in search of Darmok Ironbeard, Ithalids. They are not to be feared, they are our friends. And some similar writings of a vein as that. Ninjas, fairy tales of death, matching the matchlands, surviving the Orklands, Tarwin's Gap Today, a travelogue, The Shape of a Woman, the appearances of women across the world, Druids, isolated blathering idiots who think we should all live in trees, Amazons, delicious from a distance, deadly up close. Mages and magisters, explosive recklessness. Embracing Blissamy, because I can't spell Tsubo. The Houses of Maryland, a guide to available princesses. Fantastic beasts and where to be eaten by them. Colourful curses of the world, biting thy thumb in quaint ethnic ways. Don't get on the boat, a collection of horrifying sailing adventures. Cliffs of Ash, what lies to the south, and who lives there.
And can they spell Tsubo? Yeah, you get that.
They have Dwarf Quarter, too. And Grove.
Do you want to visit the Grove still?
Would like to see.
Of course.
See if I can find a map.
Do
Should stand out in a city like this.
we not find travel first?
Well, it looks like the network just fell over, so I'll go fix that.
Of course. I mean, if Stump wants to go on to his Grove, we can catch up with him later.
No, me will come with for travel first, because if things go wrong, Stump will know what boat to look for.
Of course.
Stump also think Grove not on this map.
Also, we don't want you to be, being an orc and all.
I've got the necklace on, so I'll look
Are you-
like a
you
greasy
currently-
Maryland farmer.
Okay, you currently got it on, sweet.
Also, if we find a boat that leaves right now, then we can leave.
Yes. Well, do keep in mind, Stump, you may be wearing that, but this is a land of magic. Many magisters will be seeing through your disguise.
Keep hood on. Pull my werewolf
That
cloth
should be
up.
foolproof. No mage can see through a hood. I mean, we're already near the dock, so we'll look around for ships docked that are facing the right way is probably a good...
And of the right type.
Yeah.
So if we
We don't want just a small
follow-
fishing
I'll follow,
vessel. Make a perception. That is dead on.
That's what you want.
Oh no, it's one above.
That's not what you want.
And no, I don't have any skills that would.
Sorry, what are you looking for?
Looking for ships that might be
Dockmaster.
heading to. Yeah, I'm just looking for one.
How would
I'm
you
looking-
spot that?
Well, just the type of ships and ones that are facing and the direction that they would be heading towards, potentially heading towards Serenia. But if there is a dockmaster,
You would hope so.
Hey, here we go. Yes, there is a dockmaster's office.
all into that then.
Well, you are a big one.
Hello, good, wait, is it morrow or evening?
It will be in the evening.
Good eves, good fellow.
Now, by that do you mean that you wish me to have a good evening? Or perhaps you might mean that it is currently a good evening? Or perhaps that you mean that the evening is of a good nature?
It could be all of those things.
Right.
I have a need of passage for me, a horse and cart, and a small group of fellow adventurers
And
to Serenia.
popular destination. Sure I couldn't interest you in somewhere else?
No, have business there.
You see. Well, many such vessels travel there on a daily basis.
Excellent. Do you know when the next one would be departing?
Well, maybe I do know. Maybe I do.
I'll throw a gold coin on the bench. Is he even regarding it?
He's swept it off the bench casually. Well now. Serenia, you say?
Indeed.
And what kind of vessel will you be looking for? A coaster to get you there eventually? Something a bit faster?
Something fast, but decent size, enough to carry a wagon. And how many of us are there now? 6?
Once we find Tello.
I don't really count Tiller as a whole person.
Tello.
Because Eaton's not joining us.
No.
There's us 3, there's Roya.
Yeah, we might have Roya.
Jenica Goddess.
Oh, the goddess, yes.
She counts as 2 people, so you
So she almost erases
7,
Teller, so we
what?
might as well just count her and Teller as 2 people.
Yeah.
He looks through his rustling big ledger book, bound in iron clasps. Let's see here. There's a naval cutter heading to Venetia.
Ah, excellent.
It departs in the morning.
Excellent. First light?
It's the way we do things.
Very well, I would like to book passage for me and my associates.
We'll have to go talk to the captain.
Of course. Thank you very much.
3rd dock. It's the one that looks like a cutter.
Oh, thank you very much.
Let's see.
Name of the vessel?
Tangerine Dream.
Pleasant name.
Serenians and their weird names.
We do like the citrus fruits.
Aye.
Have a good evening. I will turn and look for this vessel.
Well, you head back out and there's your crew. There's your guys. Here they are, wanting to participate.
How'd it go?
Tangerine Dreams, 3rd dock.
Is it a code?
No, that's the name of the ship.
Ah.
It's a cutter. To be departing in
If
the
it's
morning.
a ship, how is it
Right, so
also cutter?
It's a naval vessel. It's a term for... It's a type of ship.
Thought maybe it was just sharper chopper.
Are you alright, Sula?
Naval.
Naval.
No, that region down here. Beneath the abdominals. Well, mostly.
Military sea.
Ah, okay. Warboat.
Yes. So it should be nice and fast. I have to go find the captain and book passage, but first light tomorrow we'll be leaving. So we'll have to find an inn to stay at overnight.
So once we pay for passage, we can go find an inn.
Exactly.
You may not have time to get to your own grove.
We'll see. Will be time during the night.
It is getting late, but yes.
You don't want to be late just in case.
If it's in city and I don't get lost, should be okay. Have map. Tower is good for finding way.